I wanted to do a quick video to see how what we just learned applies to different languages. For example, you might have heard of an executable file. That is a .exe file, especially if you've ever used Windows before. You double-click a file that ends in .exe, and then the code starts running. The application starts running. And that .exe is an executable. And most of the time, these .exe files are created by C++. You write a C++ code, and you compile it to a .exe file. For example, you can use a command like g++ your program .c++. So that's your C++ file. And you're going to output it to an executable, your program. And this is going to create that .exe file that you compile down from C++ to an executable machine code. So that when you double click a file, that is your program, it's going to run because it's been compiled. Now, when you use a program like, let's say, Java, on the other hand, uses something called the JVM, or Java Virtual Machine, where it compiles your code or interprets your code to bytecode inside of this JVM. And this Java Virtual Machine is going to understand this bytecode. So unlike a compiled language that has to be compiled for each specific type of computer, a Java program only needs to be converted to bytecode once. And that bytecode can be understood by the Java Virtual Machine. And that's where the term for Java, write once, run everywhere, came from. Now, one thing to note here is that bytecode is not a native machine code. That is, most computers won't understand this bytecode. They might understand machine code, but not bytecode. So with bytecode, you need software, such as the virtual machine or a JavaScript engine, so we can execute it directly. I can't double-click a bytecode file and run it without an engine or a JavaScript machine. So I have a question for you, knowing what you just learned now. Is JavaScript an interpreted language? You'll hear this a lot. JavaScript is an interpreted language. But learning what you just did, is JavaScript an interpreted language? I mean, yes, initially, when JavaScript first came out, you had JavaScript engines such as SpiderMonkey, created by Brendan Eich, that interpreted JavaScript to bytecode, and that engine was able to run inside of our browsers to tell our computers what to do. But things have evolved now. We don't have just interpreters. We also use compilers to optimize this code. So this is a common misconception. When somebody says JavaScript is an interpreted language, yes, there is some truth to it. But it actually depends on the implementation. You can make an implementation of JavaScript, of the JavaScript engine, that perhaps only compiles. And by the way, this is also true when it comes to something like Python. Python can be run through a compiler, or it can also be interpreted, even interpreted through something like the Java Virtual Machine. So it all matters depending on implementation. So the next time somebody tells you, hey, JavaScript, that's an interpreted language, you can sound super smart and nitpicky by saying, well, not technically. Technically, it depends on the implementation. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.